Hello, hello. My name is Sydney Wealthy, and I'm here today with a reading. This reading is being filmed on the day of the full moon in Taurus, November 15th. So it's not at 100% yet, but it's getting there. It should be around 100%, around I think 3:30, 3:29 p.m. Central Standard Time, or 4:29 p.m. Central Standard Time or Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, my name is Sydney Wealthy. I am a divine creatrix, oracle, and storyteller, and I love telling the story of the energy that's going on at the moment. So these cards are telling a story. So you see, I got some cards already picked out. And then I also have some written downloads that came to me last night when I got the inspiration to do this video. So I'll read the downloads first. It's time to look at how far you've come, like an official look at It's time to look at how far you've come, like an official look at where/who you were 9 to 5 years ago. Go look at old journals, notes, pictures, etc., any records that you have. There is forward movement occurring, but you are being kept in a bubble like space so that the movement does not overwhelm you. Movement can come in the form of inspiration. It's important to not discount that. There's a lot going on beneath the surface of the fertile ground that you've cultivated. Let the moon illuminate all that is hidden. All will be revealed under the full moon. You are guided. You are safe. It is safe to be you. Your spirit team has your back. And I'll add onto that 444, since that just came to my mind. So those downloads actually came to me pretty late last night, wrote them down, and knew that I needed to do a video. So here we have some oracle cards and some tarot cards. And before I jump into the spread that's out there, I will say that this 10 of coins which is the 10 of pentacles. This was the energy at the back of the deck. So this is the back of the deck energy. This is the overall energy. Love to see this card. It's really beautiful and warm. And this tarot deck that I'm using is the Hoodoo tarot deck. So this sun card has been following me, and that's from the Green Witches Oracle deck. But the sun card from tarot decks, all of my oracle decks, every reading I've watched on YouTube, the sun has just been popping up. And it's been popping up as something that is not being seen right now. It's like it's being overlooked. The happiness, the healing energy, comfort, and joy, that's being overlooked right now. And I will admit, if you're anything like me, I am very trusting in the divine, but it's also something that takes practice for me to surrender. And part of that process of surrendering is seeing that, the sun is shining right now. It may not seem like it, but it really truly is. There's favor being shown over your life right now. So it's all about how you want to perceive things. Right now, there's a lot of healing going on, and this healing doesn't have to be miserable, but it's shadows coming up because they need to be healed. But it's hey, that's cool because you're processing something that's so deep that was keeping you stuck, that was keeping you behind. And it's let the sun shine its warm rays on those parts of yourself, illuminate them so that they can be integrated fully. This Affirmies card just sums it all up right here. Look on the fucking bright side. Nobody ever ruined their eyesight by looking on the bright side. Not everything in life is fucking merry. but you can still choose to focus on the silver lining in any situation, no matter how fucking small it is. Be that bitch that sprinkles sunshine toppings everywhere you go. So you can decide to be that person or not. It's a personal choice, right? Like, it's a personal choice. There is silver lining to everything. There is a bright side to everything if you choose to see it. And then the Firefly card and the horse card. Those were two cards that popped out last night as I was getting those downloads. And this is all about divine inspiration. But the thing about the firefly is like they move quickly. If you've ever seen fireflies or anything like that, they're not necessarily difficult to catch in jars or anything like that, but they do move quickly. Like you can see them light up in one spot and then see them light up in a totally different spot the next time they do their little buzzy light up thing or whatever it is that they do. So it is divine inspiration coming in, but you have to act on it. You have to act on it because it's fleeting. It can leave just as fast as it came. And then we have this horse energy, which suggests forward movement. Horses are all about movement, momentum. They have power. They are the things that can carry, that have carried loads cross country. So horses are all about forward movement and power, momentum. And this is just to show that there is movement going on. And the firefly card and the horse card are right next to each other. So it's that divine inspiration that is forward movement. And it's up to you to decide how you want to move with that. And one thing with horses, they have endurance. You can build your endurance through strength training. You can also build your mental endurance through meditation. So, getting into the story of the tarot. All right, so the first card to pop out as the current energy right now is the Sun of Coins. This is also the Knight of Coins. So I think it's really interesting that on this card, the Knight of Pentacles, that's what this is in the traditional tarot. Like on this card, and you know what? Let me double check that because sometimes I get confused between the knights and the knights and the pages in this deck because one of them is like the daughter. Okay, so yeah, the sons are the knights. So yeah, this is the Knight of Pentacles in the regular tarot. So Son of Coins. I think it's really interesting that he is clearly teaching or guiding or something over this astrological wheel. To me, this is saying divine timing. Divine timing is here. Divine timing is now. Everything is set in the wheel for abundance to be here, for inspiration to be here. And it's interesting that he's teaching because this could be an indication that some of us are being called and stepped upon or being delivered something, some type of inspiration that has to do with teaching or guiding others. So yeah, I feel like this is indicating that divine time is now here, right? Divine time is now here. Everything is lined up. Everything is in perfect harmony um for divine inspiration to be acted upon. There may be some messages coming in quickly. There may be some knowledge that's being gained right now and deeply integrated. And that knowledge may also be coming from the shadow being integrated as this card is sitting under the sun. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty dope. Next card as the contraction or the challenge is the Father of Baskets. So this card in the traditional tarot is the King of Cups. And so this is interesting because the challenge here is like not letting your emotions run wild, having control of your emotions so that you can process them Like if we look here, we see that there's clearly, I don't know if that's fish. I'm going to guess that it's fish because this is the father of baskets and I'm pretty sure that's a boat. But we have seafood here. Seafood or marine food, fish, maybe some crabs. And in order to consume that food, because it is fresh, it's fresh, right? It's natural, just like your emotions are fresh and they're natural things. The fish has to be processed. You have to scale it, you have to cut the head off, right? Like there's a lot that goes into it. My father used to take us fishing all the time as kids, and we had to process those fish once we got them home. You have to clean them, you have to gut it, you have to, like I said, descale them, you have to cut their heads off. Like there's a lot of work that goes into uh freshly caught food, right? So this is the same thing with those emotions. In order to get the most out of them, in order to get the nutrients that you need from your emotions, you have to process them. They have to be processed in a grounded way, right? So this is just like showing that it may be hard right now to process those emotions, but try looking on the bright side when you're processing all of that information and processing those emotions, because emotions are made to move. They're not made to, stay stuck or stay stagnant within you. They're meant to move through you. Imagine your emotions as water and you're on a boat. You're not meant to stay stranded out in the middle of the ocean. You're meant to travel through that water, navigate through that water. And then next we have the grandchildren card. So this is advice and moving forward. That's what these two cards represent here. And so the grandchildren card in this deck is the star card in traditional tarot. And this is very interesting because this is saying keep going, right? Keep going and take those inspired actions and trust that it will come, because what you're building here is something that goes a lot further and a lot deeper than just you. This card to me speaks of legacy. This is the star card. So this is like, ooh, I'm getting it right now. How do I put this into words? Sometimes when I get information, it's like it's so hard to put it into words. But it's like felt and seen, not necessarily communicated, through words or through language. So what I'm seeing is like the image of a star in the sky and how those stars are like super, super old, right? Aren't they like billions of years old? So that those same stars that we are looking at today are the same stars that our ancestors were looking up at years ago. And it's like that legacy, that hope that they had for their generations to be better or, at a different level, more elevated in different ways. Money wise, mentally, like to be elevated. The hope that they had for those generations that come after them is the same hope that I see that you're carrying, right? And that is why this healing, this optimism, this inspired action is so important. It's because it's building a legacy for you. It's building something that you're hopeful for, something that you are hoping your grandchildren or your, nieces, nephews, whoever you're cultivating, it doesn't even have to be blood family. Whatever younger generations that you're helping to cultivate and you're helping to grow, whoever they are, like keep going and look on the bright side because there is hope there. Okay. Think about how far you've come versus where your ancestors were at. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about the cycles that they were absolutely stuck in versus the cycles that you've broken. Like, you were their hope, right? You were their hope. And so far, what I'm getting is that you have lived up to their wildest dreams. And they are extremely proud of you. Extremely proud. So one reason why I love using this Hoodoo tarot deck is because I feel like it's the deck that really facilitates communication between my ancestors and myself, but also just ancestors in general. Uh, so yeah, and I really feel like they're coming through with a message of just saying how proud they are and how they hope for someone like you. They hope for someone like you to come in and create the legacy that you're about to create and break the cycles that you've broken. So you should be very proud of yourself. And this is also saying, like, give yourself flowers. Give yourself flowers, right? Okay. Now, this last card, moving forward, is the Eight of Knives, which is the Eight of Swords in the traditional tarot. So, y'all, this damn card been stalking me. But I get why it's stalking me, right? Because this is self imposed limitation. This is mental self imposed limitation and imprisonment. So here we have a figure standing at a crossroads, and there's eight swords, two swords at every crossroad, right? But when you look at it, like, it looks like these pathways are blocked, but in our reality, they're not. If you look at the size of this figure and look at the space in between these swords, like, he or she can easily just slide through there, can easily slide through these swords, maneuver around these swords to get to where they want to go, right? But it's hard to see that if you have mental limitations up and you're seeing this as a limitation. Well, I have this going on. Well, this is occurring. Well, only if this wasn't here. Only if this wasn't here. Only if this sword disappeared. You know, like, this sword is blocking me. This is blocking me. This, whatever mental limitations that you have created for yourself, you can easily maneuver through them. You can easily slide through them things. Okay. You can easily skate in between them, like, and go down the path that you want to go down, right? So it's time to take, and I think it's really interesting that this card is under this horse, which is all about forward movement and momentum and energy, right? Um, and it's like, you have the momentum. It's like, take that forward movement. You have a whole team of ancestors, a whole team of angels, guides, ascended masters, gods, and goddesses that are carrying you. In a way, they're functioning as the horse that you are riding on, because they're carrying you, they're giving you energy, they're giving you some type of nourishment, some type of support to just keep going. All you have to do is literally choose a path to walk down and choose to break free of those mental limitations. You have the forward movement, you have the ability, you have the strength. You just have to choose to actually walk down the path. All right, so I'm gonna keep it at that for those tarot cards. I mean, for those cards that are there. But I did feel inspired to pull some moon cards. Mm. Whew. I did feel inspired to pull some moon cards. So what we got here is the full moon in Virgo card, which says take inspired action, which fits perfectly. I'm going to put that right there. So take inspired action. We have the last quarter moon in Capricorn. Leave the past behind. So any of those shadow aspects, any of those mental limitations, like, leave them in the past. Leave them behind. It's time to turn a new leaf through new inspired action. Mm-hmm. And we also have the new moon in Aquarius, open up to change. So open up to change through inspired action. Open up to change, surrender to the changes that are occurring right now. Don't close yourself off. And don't focus on the rain because that's how you close yourself off to change. Focus on the bright side of change. Focus on the rainbows of change. Focus on the sunlight of change. And last card is last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind. So clear your mind of any blocks, any anguish, any agony. I've been studying up on agony, and it is one of the worst things to feel, especially mentally. So clear your mind of any agony, any limitations, any things that are causing you pain in any way, shape or form. So I'm gonna leave this reading right here. Where is that? Go ahead and go on with my day. Enjoy this full moon in Taurus. Enjoy the, any blessings that come along with it, and just staying open to receive knowledge, information, inspired action, and staying open to um, taking action on those inspirations that come. So happy full moon in Taurus. And if you're not watching this during the full moon, I hope this still resonates. I'm going to say that this still resonates, and I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching. And if it resonates, leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Peace out, y'all.